Oh wow, a revolver. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps out a lot. It doesn't cost anything. It'll just give you a notification when I release a new video. Well, today I'm at the site of an early Midwest settlement. During the riverboat days, this place saw all kinds of activity. I was told the military even stopped in for a brief time during the 1870s. I've got permission to excavate the grounds in search of artifacts, so we'll take a walk around and see what's going on. Many years have passed since the building stood out here. As you can see, there is a lot of ground to cover, but I do have some old property records and some maps to go off of. Plus there's some areas where some fragments have been tilled up. I'll start there and work my way out. Well, I probed out a spot. I got it opened up just to be sure we were into something. This is the first spot out here. I hit what I thought was ashes and glass. We're barely down past the topsoil and looks like we're running into coal ash and some glass fragments. It's a really good sign. All these old buildings would have been heated with coal and wood burning stoves, and when that burned out, they would have thrown the residual down a pit. So I'll dig down, it drops a few feet, we'll see how it goes. This is unbelievable. Barely through the topsoil. And look at all this. Got an axe head, big little square nail, a lock, a couple tooled top bitters fragments, it looks like, and a bullet casing. The most interesting find though is this watch. It's might even have some fire damage on it. Hard to see if there's anything legible, but this seems promising. We'll continue on. We have our first piece on the way out. This is something, look, just below the surface. Some kind of a paneled bottle. It looks like it might be intact. It's even got part of a label. Look at that. I'll have to dump some water on this and see if I can read it. It's some kind of extract though. We're in it. We're in it. Well, the mystery is solved. I dumped some water on it. It's kind of hard to read, but part of it says for dandruff and another part for falling hair. So this was some sort of hair remedy bottle, hair tonic of some sort. Awesome. I took a scoop and saw something. It turned out to be a beer bottle. R & Company, that's Reed & Company. Now note, this has an applied top. That's great age. As far as the fort, probably in the later days of it. That's a 1880s piece. And we also turned up with this. I believe it would have been on the top of a helmet. There would have been a spike that came out of it. Maybe some kind of officer's piece. That is something else. I just pulled up this intact bitters bottle. It's a tooled top, circa 1890, towards the later days of the fort. And I scraped against something down here. Let's see. Huh. Round bottle. What do we have here? Oh, some kind of chemical container it looks like. Maybe a pharmaceutical. Huh. Oh, that's awesome. It's so close to the surface. I mean, this is just below the plow line. But anyway, there's one here, one here. I'll start with this one since I found it first. Another Reed and Company beer, circa 1890. There we go. Look at that. It's a wine bottle. Applied top, possibly English made. All kinds of chop house bones, ashes. Hitting some rotted wood layers also.
I need to try and be a little careful because throwing garbage.
Gotcha.
Here is kind of a thick one.
Oh yeah, we'll keep it all over there. Let's see here. Plenty of bullet casings, center fire bullet casings. Oh wow, a revolver. Look at that, man. That is wild. That's a big one. Plenty of bullet casings. Look at all of these. They're all center fire. Beer and bullets.
Cowboy's dream.
We're down through the ashes and now we're into this rotted wood layer. You can see there's rotted wood coming up. It's like some kind of maybe a clay cap. I don't know if it's the bottom of the pit. I have to clear this out and find out. Here. In the north corner of this pit here, and looks like it may have a bitters bottle on the way out. Some more chop house bones, livestock. This could be intact. Yeah, some kind of bitters bottle. There we go. Nice. Tool top. Oh, here's something with writing. Looks like a Reed's Gilt Edge tonic. Actually, dug one of these at the site of Fort Pembina, so seems the military guys were liking this product around the area. Let's see here. Carefully. What do we have here? 1878. And what do we have? All right. Look at that. Reed's Gilt Edge Tonic, 1878. And it looks like it's an applied top that has some great age, probably a key mold bottom. That is something else. Well, this is amazing. We're finding all these military buttons. Look at this, just a pile of them. And just underneath them So it appears to be another bitters bottle. This one might have a label intact on it. Wow. Tonic. What's that say? Doctor something's tonic? Here, I'll clean this up in a minute. This is what they were drinking out here. I cleaned it off the best I could and concluded this was a Dr. Price's Golden Seal tonic. Dr. Price had a ton of popular products that were sold across the frontier. And well, now the mystery's solved what these bottles were. Awesome. Wow! These military buttons are all over the place. I'll clean a few of these up later. And here, bullets, military buttons. This is amazing. Philadelphia Oval style drugstore bottle. Look at that. First drugstore bottle I found out here. Wow, kind of a more decorative brown glazed piece. Still some pieces on the way out. What's this? Oh, I bet I know. That's Scott's Emulsion. That's a tooled top bottle, circa 1890. Cod liver oil, that's what it was. Well, the site is all finished up. Seems to have been an ash and trash dump for one of the barracks right around 1890. Here's the hull. This was absolutely amazing. Look at all this stuff. We've got a few of those, what we concluded were tonic bottles, Dr. Price's, and a medicine, drugstore. That Harry store on the right, possibly some kind of chemical bottle on the left. Reed's tonic, Scott's Emulsion, beer and a wine, possibly a champagne. That pistol, that's something else. Bunch of bullet casings, that decorative piece off of an officer's helmet, pocket watch, some buttons, toothbrush, bucket handle, some bones, chop house bones, a pair of boots. Well, that's about it. We'll get it filled back in. Well, here's the spot. I kicked some marks in the ground. It's square, maybe round. I sunk a 7.5 foot rod into it. There's definitely some potential, and there's a loss of compaction. We'll see how it goes. The topsoil is off. We dug through a few layers, but here's what we got so far. Some bricks, leather pieces, some chop house bones, and lantern tops. Looks like we have our first little piece on the way out. What do we have? Burnett's. I think that it has some better age. How good, I'm not entirely sure. I dug some of these on Fort Pembina in 1870s pits though. Down about 3 feet, found broken pipe. Looks like it has decent age. That is awesome. Getting into some kind of trash layer, so could be into something good here soon. Oh, got another piece on the way out here. It's like a beer bottle. This trash layer is continuing solid. Chicken bones. Plenty of chicken bones. Looks like it might be intact. Ooh, that's a nice old applied top. Blob beer. SB&G company. Let's see here. SB&G company. Applied blob beer. That is beautiful. Look at that. All right, we have what appears to be a round bottom soda bottle on the way out. Got about 4 feet into this pit. Still not sure what it is. Could be a well. Could be the top layer to an outhouse pit. Now let's see what we got here. That is beautiful. Wow. That's a Ross's. That's a Ross's Belfast. A ginger ale, round bottom. That's 1870s, 1880s right there. That is amazing. Down about 4 feet. Still not entirely sure what this pit was used for, but we have another piece on the way out right here. Looks like some kind of paneled bottle. Directions on the pamphlet. I think this is a Barry's Trisophorus, New York. Yeah, Barry's Trisophorus. Dug one of these in a mining camp out in California once. This thing must have a applied top on it. Maybe a tooled top. But no, that's a cool bottle. That's awesome. Alright, looks like there's some kind of a beer bottle on the way out. Let's see what we have here. There's a... Oh wow, that's a nice honey amber.
Got it. Does that mean something?
C&Co. LM, look at that beautiful color. Look at that drippy top. That is absolutely amazing. Look at that. Nice. Looks like there's some kind of utilitarian bowl on the way out. Some kind of ironstone whiteware. They're usually broken, but seems like this one's fairly whole. There's another one. That's something. Huh. Let's see what we have here. stone china. It's got some kind of a crest on it of some sort, monogram. Let's see what this other one's got going on. Broken beer bottle. And a bowl. Okay, it's half of a bowl. And nothing on this one. Huh. What's that? H. Alcock and Company. I believe that's Henry Alcock, England. They throw all kinds of dinnerware down here. It's interesting. Down about 7 feet, you can see all these different layers. There's coal ash, sand, and the water table. So rubbed into a bottle down here. Looks like some kind of maybe a medicine, unembossed aqua piece. Tooled top, obviously out here. Oh, not too bad. I'm down here just about at bottom where the water table is here, and I think that could have been why they stopped digging this pit way back when. Maybe they just dug it to where the water table starts. And noticed there's all these bullet casings. They're just about corroded away, I suppose from being in the water. You can see that green color though, the brass. But I thought that was notable, and finished cleaning this out. The pit's almost done. I've been clearing the sides out. This was no doubt an ash dump for the barracks. Got some kind of piece here. Could be the last whole piece in this pit. Let's see. There's some broken glass around it, so. Alright, let's hole. What do we have here? Yeah, I believe this is an Iris sarsaparilla. There we go. Classic. These were found all across the frontier. Got a key mold bottom. And maybe a tooled top on this one. Let's see. Huh. Still not too bad. Looks like some kind of beer bottle on the way out. It's got a sharp collar. That's a good indication of age. This is definitely pre-1890, possibly pre-1880. Let's see here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's doesn't have any embossing, but it's got a sharp collar. See anything on the bottom? Nothing. That is nice though. Getting frame. Right on. Circa 1880. Still picking away at the side. One piece right there. One piece up here. Seems like a little paneled bottle. Oh. Some kind of a cologne or perfume. Looks like, okay, it's clear with contents inside. That's cool. Tooled top, definitely. Oh, still picking away at the sides. Looks like there's some kind of a beer bottle on the way out here. Really thick ashes. Let's see, piece of ironstone china. The beer might be intact though. Oh, the top's knocked off. LG company though. That's or IG company, Illinois Glass Company. Wow, that's an early one. Huh. Oh, some kind of little round bottle on the way out. Very few whiskeys. Now, I've heard that there was some kind of prohibition on whiskeys in military forts, or just hard alcohol in general. That could be why there's only beers and medicines. I think I got this thing loose. What is it? Some kind of plain medicine bottle, tincture bottle, full of groundwater, tooled top. Nice. Every time I think this pit's done, I keep picking away at the sides, and it gives me just enough to continue. There's this little oval-shaped piece. Oh, okay. F. Brown's Essence, Jamaica Ginger, Philadelphia. This was a really popular product back in the day. It's a 1880s bottle, I think. Huh. Well, it looks like I've got some kind of paneled bottle with embossing and some kind of round, small round bottle. I think this could be an ink. Wow, that's a really unusual piece. BT. Wow, it's some kind of ink bottle. Patented April 1st, 1868. Look at that. It's BT. Never seen one of these before. This other one here, let's see. Like another Tool Top Airs compound extract. Sarsaparilla. It's Lowell, Massachusetts. Nice aqua color. Wow. Kind of tunneling just a bit, and notice what could be another round bottom soda. Try to get down in here. Let's see. Yeah, it's sticking out right there. Let's see what we got. Another Ross's. I believe these are from Belfast. That's nice though, applied top. Wow. Well, the site's all finished up. They concluded it was an ash dump used by one of the barracks circa 1885. Here's the hull. All kinds of different pieces here. We've got a lot of these. Here's a couple. The lantern tops. It's broken beer bottles. We've got a couple generic pieces. Some beers. Good age on those. Ironstone pieces. An assortment of different embossed bottles here. F. Brown's Jamaica Ginger, Dr. Price's, Ayers, Barry's Trisophorus, and Burnett's. Got some ink bottles. And we actually got two of these. One was in the vehicle already. But yeah, this was a good dig. get it filled back in. You'll see it kick some marks into the ground. This is a large site. I sunk a 7.5 foot rod into it. There's plenty of objects down there. So we'll get the topsoil off and see what's going on. We're down past some clay cap layer into some wood ash, down about 4 feet. And we found a ton of casings. Now these are rim fire. They're earlier than the center fire. I think these are 1870s. We also got this eagle button. That's definitely off of an enlisted man's uniform, officer's uniform. Look at that. We also have 2 pieces on the way out. Looks like a couple beer bottles possibly. Got a couple of our first pieces on the way out here. First glass pieces. Looks like a couple beer bottles. Look at that, just how they were dropped in 150 years ago. See if I can, there we go. Get one of these loose here. Nice. Wow. DSG company. This is some early stuff here. That is absolutely incredible. Let's see the other one. The tops on this one, wow. Looks like maybe a key mold. Nothing home, but that is solid. I'd say 1870s, early 1880s. That is something else. Down about 6 feet. All we found thus far, some bullet casings, maybe a fuse for a cannon, a couple beer bottles, solid wood ash layers. I'd mentioned before wood ash is earlier than coal ash generally because they didn't have a ready supply of coal back in the day. They just burned up local lumber, I suppose, but yeah, here's the site so far. A ton of ashes. Look at all these ashes. Some sides there, the clay are way down here, down about 7-8 feet. Water's starting to fill in. Solid wood ash. Nearing bottom. I don't know, maybe they've had some kind of regulations on throwing things down the ash dump, or provisions were slim. Hard to say. I've discovered this pit is oval shaped. Hit clay on the edges and did get, seems to be a whole bottle or a whole piece on the way out here. Wow, that's something. Huh. What is this thing? That's early. It's got some kind of a label on it. Some kind of a pattern there. I've never seen one of these before. I'll dump some water on the label and see if I can preserve it, read it. Well, there hasn't been much in this ash dump, but looks like there's another piece here. Beer bottle. It's got some markings on the bottom. I think it might be complete. Whole piece here. There's the side. Full of water. Oh, that is an early looking blow of beer. Look at that thing. Oh, look at all those seed bubbles. Wow. Look at that crude top. See, it's got that sharp collar. That's earlier. It's like a DSG company. I believe that's the Steiger Glass Company, but don't quote me on that. I'll have to do some research. Wow. So here's the mark of the beast. Unfortunately, when it was thrown down, it was broken. You can see the rainbow iridescence in the cracks. I saw the embossing on it. USA Hospital Department. Right there. Oh, wow. See, these were actually made for the Union Army during the Civil War. And when the war ended, they shipped the surplus out to frontier forts. This one's a quart-sized. So this was a medical bottle for the Army. Wow. It was a massive ash dump. Wood ash, likely from the early days of the barracks, early days of the fort, was roughly 8 feet deep and irregular in shape. But here's the hull. This was something else. It's so early for this area. You can see the bullet casings, a few beer bottles, one on the right's an English food. Not entirely sure about that ribbed bottle. I'll do a little research on it. But we'll get this filled back in and move on to the next site. Kick some marks in the ground. I got some loss of compaction between 4 and 5 feet. Didn't feel much in it, although there is some ashes. So we'll open it up and see what's going on. We've moved a lot of dirt. We're down about 3 feet and just started getting into some kind of ash layer. Seems to be the ashes are higher on the north side of the pit. And we're hitting kind of a layer of rotted wood down there. Seems to be another foot or so it continues, so we're gonna get some plastic scoopers and trowels and dig real careful. Seems to be our first whole piece on the way out over here. Amber glass, possibly a beer. Right there. awesome. Center fire casing. It's pre-1880s. Chop house bone meals were definitely being served out here. Now let's see. CV number 1, CV number 2. Oh wow, this is a Chase Valley Glassworks beer. They only produced these for a year or two in the early 1880s. You can see remnants of the word export on there. I have to dump some water on this and clean it up a bit. That is outstanding. Look at that rainbow iridescence. Remnants of a label on the back as well. Wow. This pit hasn't had a lot going on. There's been a lot of wood ash. Everything seems to date back to about 1880. There is one piece on the way out down here. Oh. I'll climb in and see what we've got. Looks like some kind of panel bottle. All right. Some kind of little medicine. Wow, look at that hinge mold bottom. That's beautiful. So it's got a crude drippy top on it, applied top. That's awesome. Wow. Well, the site's all finished up. Appeared to have been an ash dump composed primarily of wood ash. There were also some rotted boards. Here's the hull. Everything dated back to about 1880. Got a beer bottle and a medicine, a few rimfire casings. That was about it. Not much was thrown down, although we'll get it filled back in and move on to the next site.